Get cut!
Oh! What a show! What
Get cut!
a show!
Come on!
Oh man! Oh my God! I'll tell you.
Get God!
Really, I'm telling you, we got this time. That's for sure. Let me tell you, let's just start off immediately because let me tell you, this episode really is about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 5 characters, and we get jumped back and forth throughout the characters. So let me do a recap just by character. So let's start with Circe. All right.
Yeah.
So Circe, here she is walking pretty strong and pretty proud with the mountain. All right.
Yeah.
And see where the High Sparrow goes and wants to have a meeting with Circe, but in reality, I honestly think that he was just going to put her in jail until the trial starts. But Circe decides that ain't flying, and the faith militant, the guys that worked for the High Sparrow said, "Hey, you don't have to choose violence. You can go the easy way." And Circe decides that she wants to choose violence.
That's right.
And then.
Yeah, and in that, what about the mountain just saying, hey, just go get this guy, rip his head off, and just continue on his day. All right.
and then they all back away. I mean, I guess it had to be a sacrificial lamb for that to get the point across. And then Circe just very dignified and says, the High Sparrow is welcome to come visit me at any time he wants, But
what an invite.
Right, exactly. And then we get where there's a meeting that the king, which happens to be the son of Circe, is having, and Circe is kind of like a little upset because guess what? She wasn't invited to this meeting or this announcement that the king was going to make. And the announcement was there is no combat by trial, trial by combat. Okay, there's not, and B, anybody that has gone against the faith will have to go to trial. And that just kind of put Circe out because she had the mountain on that. All right, so let's move on. We move on to the Hound.
Okay? The Hound.
Remember, Richie, on the last episode, we ended up the episode where the Hound was on that village. They hanged the priest's buddy, and so he gets the axe and starts. And we were kind of joking about, oh, God help those guys because the Hound is gonna look for them and try to. And that's exactly the way we start this.
That's exactly what happened.
Right. So he goes out and he finds the Brotherhood, mind you. He kills 4 of them. Then he goes and looks for the other 3, and to find out that the Brotherhood has gotten the other 3, and they're getting ready to hang them. And the Hound wants to kill them. He doesn't want them to hang. He doesn't want them to. The Hound thinks that hanging them is a quick death.
He wants to kill them himself.
Right, exactly. The Brotherhood said, no, these guys committed an infraction, and so therefore we're going to hang them. But he gets to, knock off the little pedestal that they're standing on, and they all hang on that. Yeah. Exactly. Then we move on to Jaime. Brienne is still looking for the army to help Jon Snow. Come to find out because she's on a mission to go talk to the Blackfish. When she comes to Riverrun, she sees all Jaime's army out there, and so she decides that she's going to have a conversation with Jaime. Brienne tries to talk to Jaime and convince Jaime to come and fight with her to help Jon Snow. I mean, and this is how little Brienne knows about the feud between the Stark and the Lannisters. you know,
Right.
and she's asking Jamie to come and fight with us, come in our side. This is the good side, and Bolton is taking over Winterfell, and that's not right, and blah blah blah. And you know, Jamie doesn't care because remember the conversation with Jamie and Lord Edmure. He said the things we do for love. And I love Cersei, and Cersei has sent me here to take over this kingdom, and this is what I'm going to do. And if I have to kill you, your children, your mom, everybody in your family, I will do so. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he kind of works out an arrangement with Lord Edmure. Edmure goes and yells out, "Hey guys, let me in." They have a little dispute between Blackfish and the head guy. In that castle, and they let Edmure in, and Jamie basically walks in with the army without one shed of blood in that hole, other than Blackfish. Okay.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I was surprised that they let the bridge go down. I had no idea that it would be that easy for Jamie. I actually thought Jamie would go back to King's Landing with his tail in between his legs.
Yeah, I actually thought that there was going to be a little battle going on here, but this kind of made it easy for Jamie now, because you know what? He's going to need that army when he go back to King's Landing, because we got a whole situation brewing up, getting ready to explode over there, and they're going to need that army. Jamie's going to need that army. You know, when he gets over there on that side. Then we jump over to Tywin. Tywin really thought he had this thing rocking and rolling, that whole country, and come to find out the masters want their place back. They want to, and they start a war. Then we all of a sudden see the Queen of Dragons come in. We end the show with the last character, and that's Arya. All right. Last we heard was that Arya got stabbed, and she got stabbed pretty viciously by the waif. All right. She found Lady Crane. Lady Crane turned around and helped Arya, sewed her back together again. Well, the waif, who works for the many-faced god and the Black and White Temple, had to fulfill the mission that Arya refused to do, and went and killed Lady Crane, and then this whole battle ensues between Arya and the waif, you know, running after each other throughout the whole village. And Arya was really trying to get to the place where she had put her needle, that little sword.
Yeah.
And it was a dark place and everything. And then we come to learn, because I'll tell you, once she whacked that candle out, I knew at that point, game over. All that training that Arya has been doing when she was blind, learning how to fight, all that training came into play here, and I knew that it was game. And that's why at the end we find out that the waif's face is now in the Black and White Temple, and then she's having a conversation with that. So that's kind of what the recap of, so to speak, of the thing. Now let's bring out the wacko-meter. You know, we've been talking about for the last couple of shows, for the last couple of episodes, there hasn't really been people dying or anything like that. I think, you know, Arya last episode got hurt, but nobody died. And then the one before that, nobody died either. Just the village people, you know, so to speak. Other than that, nothing really happened. But on this episode, we need to bring the wacko-meter out here and count how many we're talking about here. So what is your count, Richie? What do you count here?
Well, what do we got on the we got Blackfish gets whacked off. He gets gone.
Right.
We got that the mountain. Remember the mountain?
The face militant, the guy who jerked his head off. Right.
What an idiot! What did that guy think by taking his sword and putting it into the chest? Like that's gonna do anything.
Right. That created a little dent. That's what it did. Yeah.
I know. We got I mean, how many we got with the Brotherhood? 4.
The Brotherhood, I think there was that he got 4 before
On his
the
own.
hanging, and then the hanging was 3, so that was 7. So that's 7, 8, 9. That's 9 people so far.
That's 9.
Yeah, we got Lady Crane. That's 10.
Lady Crane. That's right.
The Waif. That's 11.
And Waif.
So that's 11 people got whacked on this particular show. Wow, that's more than I guess they were trying to make up for everybody. 11 people. What were some of the surprises you found out, Richie? What were some of the surprises?
You know, just to go through the recap, I think my big surprise on the Tomlin, Cersei, and the Mountain characters was Tomlin. Never thought that Tomlin would say no trial by combat. I actually think the king is all about the faith because of the queen, and now it's going to be tough to take this guy out of the game. I don't see him getting out of the game. But that was my big surprise, is him really saying no trial by combat. We believe in the faith. And that's what the king.
And anybody that goes against the faith has to go to trial because they are going against the faith. I agree with you. I think that was my biggest surprise of this whole episode on there. Now, there was other little surprises. Yeah. I think you and I agree that the Queen of Dragons, Dany, that was a surprise that she came.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
But it really wasn't. We kind of knew that she was coming. We didn't think it was going to be this soon or this quick.
Right.
You know.
Right. I think what I'm very surprised is that Tyrion has now let his queen down. He made somewhat of a good deal by compromising, but how is the queen going to react? I think, quite honestly, she's not going to have a good reaction.
But what are your predictions for the remaining of the season?
Well, I think, as we know, Jon Snow goes and attacks Ramsay. I think Jon Snow gets a harsh reality check and realizes with the people that he has right now, it's just not going to work out. But Jon Snow is not a giver-upper. He does not quit. He will fight on, and he will win this war. I think he goes in there, he gets wiped out, he has to regroup. Littlefinger and his soldiers come in. I also think somebody else, I don't know if it's going to be the rest of the Tullys that are around go and help, but somehow Jon Snow and Sansa get the support and they go and take over Winterfell. That could be the final season, but I can see that happening. Them taking over Winterfell. I honestly
think, to your point, I agree with you, but I honestly think that Littlefinger is going to play a big part here, and that's how Jon Snow is going to win. Littlefinger wins Sansa because, you know, he's kind of in love with Sansa too, and he wants that little relationship to continue, and it didn't end in a good note, you know.
It did not. And I honestly think that Jon Snow's going to go. He's going to have some war problems. He gets saved by Littlefinger. I also think Bran comes into the picture. We can't have a separated Bran anymore.
That's right.
He needs to connect with someone, and I actually think that someone is going to be Jon Snow. He'll connect with Jon Snow and Sansa. He'll give them some insight, and then from that we'll realize, maybe he tells him to go and talk to this person or whatever that may be. I got another prediction. I think the imp's friend, the bald monk, I think it's Varys. Right. We don't know where he's going. All we know is he's going somewhere to help bring people to help Meereen. That's all we know, right?
Right.
I think he's going to Dorne. I think he's going to go to Dorne.
What are you going to get from the Dorne? The army?
He's going to get some of those helpers over there, and then it's going to be Dorne and Dragon Queen, Greyjoys, and the Dothraki all going over to Westeros.
Wow, that could be pretty heavy. That could be pretty heavy. Well, with that said, there's only one more question to ask here. You get God.
Get God.
Get God.
All right, I love you, Dad.
I love you too, son. You have a great day.